Hello, hello, hello. Today we are going to build voice agents that are actually useful and that you can build a business around. And this is a middle agenda here to not get lost. So I'm gonna showcase calling my voice agent that can, in this case, book meetings, check my calendar, do simple stuff like that, just to show that it works and how it works with the phone. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a business case that we did with agents. That's why this is so exciting. And then I'm going to give you a little overview of the entire build. I'll go through the ElevenLabs agents, like the basics you need to get this working, and the basics in make.com to make actions work and integrate them with ElevenLabs. And also how to integrate it with the phone as well. So let's talk a little bit about, or let's show the showcase. So I have a number here, and let's hope this demo works. Okay. Oh, before I call, so I've fine-tuned this on my own voice, and the training data was from a few very technical videos. So you're gonna, it sounds really funny, but just to show that you can connect a fine-tuned voice, it's like it sounds like me, but it's not a customer service voice, and you'll hear why. It has a weird tonality, but yeah, I fine-tuned that, and here it is. So
hello, what up?
hello, how are you doing? I need to book a meeting with you, and I would like to book a meeting for tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you? That's awesome that you want to book a meeting with me. Let's see what we can do about getting you set up for tomorrow at 2 p.m. First, let me check my calendar to make sure that the time slot is available. Just give me a sec. All right, so I've checked my calendar and it looks like tomorrow at 2 p.m. is available. That's perfect. Now, to book the meeting, I'll need a few more details from you. Could you tell me, 1, how long do you want the meeting to last? Just give me a duration in hours and minutes. 2, what's your email address? I'll need this to send you the invite. Once I have those details, I can go ahead and book the meeting for you.
Let's do 20 minutes, and my email address is eric. Actually, my email address is eric@alicelabs.ai. So that is Alice, like Alice in Wonderland, the name, alicelabs.ai.
Awesome. Thanks for providing those details. Let me just confirm that I've got everything right. We're booking a meeting for tomorrow at 2 p.m. The duration will be 20 minutes. Your email address is eric@alicelabs.ai. Alice like in Alice in Wonderland. Got it. Now, let me go ahead and book that meeting for you using our booking system. Great news. The meeting has been successfully booked. You're all set for tomorrow at 2 p.m. for a 20-minute meeting. You should receive an email confirmation at eric@alicelabs.ai shortly. Is there anything else you need help with regarding this meeting, or any other questions you have for me?
No, thank you. Bye.
All right, no problem. It was great chatting with you and helping you book that meeting. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'm looking.
Okay, you get the point. It made some mistakes now, and this is just a quickly spun up proof of concept thing. One, it got the time wrong, and that's because I know that I have made a little thing with the timestamp, so it's actually in the wrong time zone, but it thinks it's books for 2 p.m. here, but it's actually 3 p.m. here. So it booked this meeting for us, and it's a meeting with Eric. It spelled my email the wrong way, so it does this all the time. It says ALIS, labs, not Alice, like the name. But if it would have worked, then I would have gotten an invite and stuff like this. There are ways to like have it text me the email address, and I can correct it and stuff before it books. But just to showcase this thing. So that's how it works. And all right, let's go through the little business case that we made. So this was actually like 1.5 years ago when we got started. The very first business case elevenlabs did was a support agent, or a sales agent actually. And this business our customer had 7 people working in the sales department. They had 200 plus supermarkets that were ordering salad every week. And the solution was that instead of them calling these store owners that didn't have time for it, it was a SMS-based agent texting customers instead once a week, and they could place their orders or ask anything about their product, which was salad in this case. And you could just talk to it like a regular agent, and it will place the orders. And then it was a 6-week implementation. And back then, there was no assistant API. There was limited information on how to actually get this working. So it took a long time. It was expensive. We hired developers, and you had to do everything with pretty much the regular API, the GPT-4 API. But it costs $50,000 around that, converted to Swedish, for 6 weeks, and it saved this business $250,000 a year, and it is still saving them $250,000 a year. So 6-week implementation, a cost of $50K, and they save now $250K a year. Pretty easy to argument for that investment. It replaced 5 people or relocated them into different things, and they actually got less waste, less error orders, and better prediction of how to plan ahead of schedule. Why is this? Why am I talking about this? Because it took 6 weeks. It was kind of expensive to develop as well back then. But right now we can do this in half an hour, and we can do it much more advanced with a voice that actually does things for you. And so I think this is a frontier that we have a proof of concept of people can save a lot of money, and people are willing to pay for it, and it's so worth it. And we can find similar customers that are in the similar shoes or similar place that also need this. So, and there's tons of use cases for it. That's why I'm so excited to just show you the building blocks that you need to understand to start using your creativity and imagination and build your own stuff, whatever you want. Walkthrough of the build. So now I'm gonna do a little walkthrough of the big things. First, I've done the fine-tuning we're gonna use elevenlabs here, and I've done the advanced fine-tuning. I'll just show you a little bit about that. And then I'll go through elevenlabs agents, how to integrate it with Twilio to make it call, and then how to create actions so it can book meetings, place orders, whatever you want it to do with make.com. And the reason why I'm using make.com is because I think it's going to be easier for most people, if you understand make, to do actions than actually integrating straight to the API from the agent, because yeah, it takes a lot of time and they look differently, and some APIs are really tricky. So let's go here to 11labs. And this is where we build the agents. Let's go to a little example of the fine-tuned voice. So this is advanced fine-tuning. You need to have like the upgraded account to do this, and you can only fine-tune one voice. Takes a few hours. You need a lot of data. I fine-tuned, as I said, on a few YouTube videos of mine, which was why it sounds so robotic. And then I had Claude read through those transcripts, and then I said, regenerate a transcript in this tonality that talks about Bitcoin. So I haven't said anything about it, and you're now gonna hear how it sounds. So this is not me.
Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to go through a little analysis that I've built, and what this tracking does is that it will go through Bitcoin's price movements, it will go into those patterns, get all the data and look for trends, and if there are no clear trends, it will look for a pattern or a signal on the chart that might contain your potential entry points, and then it will analyze.
Oh, so I think you heard that. I think it records internal audio. As you hear, it sounds a lot like me. It's a little bit off, but it's quite impressive. And why is this important? If you're doing voice agents in a different language, none of them can speak your language than English. If you do it in Swedish, they can speak Swedish, but it's going to sound like an American person that moved to Sweden a year ago. So you can fine-tune them in Swedish with the Swedish accent, or in English with the Swedish English accent, or whatever. So pretty cool. You're not just stuck with the voices that 11labs has. Let's go into agents. You click over here, and let's go into this agent that we are gonna showcase now. Choose the language. I'm just gonna go through the basics here, not into detail, but everything you need to know to create one of these agents you'll get after this session. Choose the language. You can choose additional languages. You need a first message. That's always going to be the same. Hello, what up? You know, I said that. And then you have the system prompt. The system prompt, I think most people are familiar with this, but it's basically a custom GPT. You instruct it here. I've pasted this transcript that Claude generated, and I said communicate in the same tonality and way of talking as this. I don't think it succeeds, but it's just a try to make it sound more like me. Yeah, a bit of general information, and important, tell it what tools it has access to. And I'm gonna show you later how to set up all of those tools. In this case, I said it has access to my calendar. It's called My Cal, and it can check for open and busy spots and stuff like this. Then we can choose the model. I've chosen Claude 3.5 Sonnet because it's the best, and it takes a little bit longer in response time. If you choose this Flash model, it's going to be almost immediately. So almost like the voice in GPT and the app. Then we have temperature. You can leave that as is. Don't care about this one. And knowledge base. So I've just added some knowledge about our business for fun. I have an idea of creating agents that take orders for like all the pizza restaurants in Sweden. And here you would upload the menu, for example, so it knows which pizzas they have and stuff like this. Yeah. All right, and then this is the important part, tools. This is what we need to do to make it do stuff for us. And if you know Make, this is going to be a walk in the park for you. So what tools are this? We have MyCal and Book Meeting. Michael checks meetings, and book meeting books a meeting, because we need to check if it's busy before we book it. Choose webhook here and do a name that it understands. Give a description. This webhook, call this webhook to get all the busy times in my calendar, so it knows how. And then you'll paste the webhook here. I'll show you how to get this webhook in Make later. And for this example, we don't send anything with the webhook. We just need to call it and activate it, and we'll get a response back. So we can choose get, because we don't need to send any payload with the webhook. So nothing else here we need to add, all right? This is why it's so convenient with Make, because you can just send webhooks like this. And you don't need like authentication headers and stuff like this. You might just need the body parts. We're gonna talk about that later. And then we have the other one where same here, book a meeting, a description. Here's what you need to book a meeting. You need a name, a time, a duration, and their email. And notice that it asked for all of this because I've told it needs it to book the meeting. And here we have a different method. We have post. This is because we need to send some payload with the webhook, because we need to send the time that it's going to book for. We need to send the duration it's going to be booked for. And the email is going to invite. Paste the webhook here again. And for here we need to add some body parameters. And this is just a way where we instruct the LLM to format its response to use this. And to be able to treat this as different objects, we need to send them in this JSON format, like this. If you don't know how to set up a JSON format, just tell ChatGPT that this is what I'm doing, give it a bunch of print screens on elevenlabs interface and say, what do I write here? Write a JSON format that will send name, time, duration, and guest email. And it will do this for you. So don't worry about that. And then you need to define each one of these ones. So here we're just showing it. This is the way you're gonna communicate with this tool. And for everything of this, we're gonna add a property here, add property. All right, add property is gonna be duration. It's gonna be mostly strings. The duration and then description. What's the format the duration needs to be in? This is for the Google step later. They need the format to be in this format. And for the time, they need the format to be in this format. And then a name, just the name of the event. You can make this up yourself, I've said. And the email address. Yeah, nothing fancy there. And that's it. That's the tools. Let's go into voice. If you are fine-tuning, make sure that you knob this one all the way up, because the similarity one, it's going to be defaulted to halfway and it's going to sound whack. But if you drag it all the way, it's going to sound good. That's it. Yeah, and then choose the fine-tuned model, which is Advanced Eric. Yeah, you can, there's nothing here to know except that, no. You can embed this as a widget. If you don't want to use it via phone, you can just paste this code on your website and it will get a widget just like this one here. So pretty cool. Yeah, that's it in those. You can try it out here before. As soon as you want to try it out with Make, just press this one and talk to it and send the information. And then phone numbers. Go to phone numbers here. This is where you connect it to Twilio. I'm not going to go through how to connect or create the Twilio number, but there are plenty of tutorials on that. Create a Twilio number and then click here. Choose a name. do the number, and then paste the SID and the Twilio token here, and it will be connected to that number. In this case, then you can click on this number, and then you'll get to choose which agent should this number be connected to. Yes. That's it. And now I'm gonna show you how to set this up in make.com. And the most important thing here, because I'm not gonna go through in detail how I've done this, but I'm gonna go through the important step, which is the mounting parts that are gonna be the same all the time. The webhook, you always need to trigger, like the first step is gonna be a webhook, and if you need to send something back to the agent, you need a response webhook. And in between here, you can do whatever you want. This is where you can connect to 5,000 apps and manipulate the information, send it back and forth, and until you get the information you need to send back to the agent. So you need to, whatever you want to do. This is the unlimited possibility. Let's go through this. Let's create a webhook just to do that. A custom webhook, add a new one just for test, and this is the address that you're gonna go to here into tools. Let's say this one, and you'll add it here. Okay. Let's go back here. So that's the address that you're adding back. And then when that tool is called, this one will fire. And what happened then? Well, in this case, this is checking if the meeting, or this is checking my calendar and just returns the busy times. So this webhook just needs to be called. We don't need to send anything with this one. It just needs to be triggered, and this is going to trigger this chain of events and then send the response back. So once it gets triggered, it goes to this one, and it checks. This is just some formulas for checking or formatting, like check busy times in my calendar for today plus today plus 7 days is going to check for. But I'm not going to go through this in detail. And then it just aggregates this response into a big chunk of text with all the different busy times, because it's going to list them like this. And then we're going to collect that text and send it back to the agent. And I've done this in JSON format now because I just think the agents understand code better. But note that you don't need that. You can just have regular text here. It can receive text. You don't need to respond in a complicated format like this. Okay, so the two mounting parts is going to be a webhook that you can call. Things are going to happen here in between until you get the information that the agent needs to know. And then you're going to send that back if the agent needs to get something back. So in this case, this is the mycal webhook. All right, that's what we're checking here. It's the mycal one, and we don't send anything with it. We just say a get method, call this webhook, and you will get all the busy times back. I'll just show you. I'll just do like this. I'll just show you how it. Okay, let's just try it here. No, it can't, because this one doesn't wait for the response. Anyway, the agent waits for the. Let's do if no. yeah, the agent waits for the whole thing to flow through here and then waits for the response. But the response will be a list of available or busy times. And then we have the other one, which is the book a meeting. So same here, create a webhook, copy this one, go over here, is the book meeting, paste it in here. And if you need to send payload information with the webhook, use post. And then define, like we did here, this is what you need to send. You need to extract this information from the transcript, package it like this, and send it to the webhook. And what that is going to do is, once this is triggered, then it will create these different objects, the name, the time, the duration, everything that you need, the email that is going to invite, and you can just place them where you need. And this one doesn't need a webhook response. We could have a webhook response that reports whether this event was successful or not or whatever. We don't need it, so I've just haven't added it. And that's it, I think. Let's see if there's, yeah, that's make actions. So that's how you integrate pretty much any actions that you need into your voice models or voice AIs. And yeah, just think of the use cases. Like there's so many like simple use cases with so much value to build here. And the reason why I do it with make is because if you're gonna do the function calls to APIs, there's all this authentication. For example, checking the Google Calendar through the Google API was so much hassle. So it's so much easier to just do it with make because it's already authenticated inside make. Yeah. All right. That's it. I hope you run away and do cool stuff with it and that it provided a lot of value. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.